I want to bring in NBC's Kelly O'Donnell covering the White House. NBC's Julie Sirkin is on Capitol Hill for us. Teddy Schlafer and Jeremy Peters are New York Times reporters and MSNBC contributors. Jeremy joins me here in studio. So, Julie, does all of this, CBO findings, Elon Musk's tweets, make the president's effort to get some skeptical Republicans on board maybe more difficult than it was even 36 hours ago?
I think the Elon Musk stuff is really the turning point potentially here, but you still have Republicans, including many of those that I spoke to this morning, Chris, who maintain that Musk's influence is not going to do much for them when it comes to opposing or supporting this bill. It does make them a little bit more uncomfortable, however, because now they have somebody who long had the ear of the president, not so much now, somebody who poured millions of his own money in the 2024 election and who has a very deep pocket to continue threatening primary challenges. Many of those Republicans, of course, up in cycle. It does make it inconvenient for them, the argument about the deficit. And certainly, of course, when it comes to the Congressional Budget Office, an agency which Republicans have spent the last several weeks trying to paint as partisan, though we know it is not, including Steve Scalise, who is a very high-ranking Republican on the House side, addressing the updated scores today. Take a listen here.
There's an old saying that if you ignore the lessons of history, you're doomed to repeat it. But I think it's important to go down that road of history and go back to 2017. You don't need to go back that far to see how wrong the CBO has been when it comes time to make prognostications on economic growth. They've always been wrong, and they've always ignored what tax cuts will do to grow the American economy.
Even John Thune, the top Republican in the Senate yesterday, telling us he has his own data and modeling that they are looking at that shows, in his words, that this bill will not add to the deficit, though we know that it will because multiple independent nonpartisan agencies and now Elon Musk are amplifying those same comments. I will tell you, though, Chris, that it's interesting. We will see those Republicans who ultimately want to get a yes on this bill. They are going to downplay Musk's comments, work with the president instead. Those like Ron Johnson, perhaps, who really wants to be on no on this, will continue to elevate Elon Musk, although, of course, he does not have the same kind of pressure and power that he had when he was formally attached to this administration.
Thank you so much, Julie. So, Jeremy, in the past, the president has succeeded in getting Republicans to fall in line, right? But a number of them were asked, does the fact that Elon Musk said what he said change that? And here's what they told us.
You don't think that'll have an influence?
Well, I think it's Donald Trump as president, and I think at the end of the day, it's his administration. It always has been. So, listen, a lot of people have views on this bill, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more criticism.
The risk of not getting it done is enormous, not just for the Republican Party, but for the country. So we've got to get it done, and I think Elon understands the weight of that, and I hope he comes around. I'd love to talk to him this week, and I hope he calls him back today.
He looks at it a different way than we have to look at it, because, again, we're the ones that have to vote for it, and you also have to look at the good along with the bad. Nothing's perfect.
What do you hear when you listen to those members of Congress?
A big shut up to Elon Musk. I mean, really, it's not very subtle. They are, as many Republicans and many members of this administration, kind of tired of somebody calling the shots or thinking he's calling the shots who isn't a member officially of the government, who gets to kind of, as Trump used to do before he was elected, heckle and throw bombs from the sidelines. Now, what's important to remember here is that none of the major players involved here were ever really committed fiscal conservatives. President Trump certainly wasn't. Elon Musk is really only MAGA in the sense that he's against a lot of what the MAGA Donald Trump wing of the Republican Party is against, and that's the left and programs that the left likes to fund. So really, you're looking at the Republican Party in kind of its purest form over the last 10, 15 years or so, which is as a party that really is more opposed to things than it is for them, unless that thing it's for is Donald Trump.
Teddy, a source that's familiar with the Trump-Musk relationship says there are multiple reasons that Musk could be lashing out. Look, the bill doesn't include tax credits for EVs. Let's start there. Not getting a Starlink business from the FAA. Friend of his, who is up to be NASA administrator, had his nomination pulled. Are Republicans who say publicly or quietly that Musk is totally motivated by self-interest right? Or is there a bigger picture here?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly a very Trump-friendly narrative. There is indeed, the perspective of Trump world on this is Musk is just upset because Musk is not getting what is good for his own companies, which is a total contradiction of how they've kind of described Musk over the last 6 months, which is this patriot who is sacrificing all these things that are good for his companies in order to save the country. That's the Trump narrative. I mean, the Musk narrative here, which I thought he sort of distilled pretty well in a late night reply to a random pseudonymous account, as lots of Musk utterances go. The Musk view on this is that the Doge effort has been totally undercut by this effort to add so much to the deficit. Who cares if the engineers on Musk's team are finding $1 billion or $2 billion here or there if there are trillions of dollars being added in this bill. I'm just struck by the total about face from Trump world on kind of what exactly Elon Musk cares about, because if you listen to them over the last year, Musk didn't care at all about EV subsidies or care at all about Starlink reaching more and more customers. So clearly there's been some kind of cognitive dissonance as Musk has become more unfriendly to the Trump priorities.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Jeremy, and President Trump, his alliance with Musk really gave rise to what some people say is a different kind of MAGA Republican, right? Because last October, Musk described himself as dark MAGA, which a lot of Trump supporters picked up on. And the Wall Street Journal reported in March, dark MAGA conveys a certain renegade, individualistic conservatism. I'm MAGA, but I'm also me. I mean, if Musk and Trump split, I guess the question is, are there MAGA folks who would follow? Or let's not kid ourselves, the voters who are MAGA are Trump MAGA. They're not Musk MAGA.
Absolutely right. What Musk MAGA? There's no such thing. Elon Musk is, by his own admission, a bit of a political dilettante. He has had political views that are all over the place. This is a guy who has given money to Barack Obama and supported numerous Democrats and is actually interested in certain liberal priorities, definitely not all of them, but climate change and making sure that the environment the damage we're doing to the environment is reversed. So Elon Musk here is he's a cult figure in the sense that he's a bit of a cartoonish attraction, right? People liked that he had that Trump spirit of really telling off Trump's opponents and anyone else that would dare to challenge Trump. It was more about attitude than it was about any particular set of core beliefs. And that's really what Trumpism under the Republican Party under Trumpism is all about. It's an attitude. And with attitude, unless you are the leader, the cult leader, like Trump is, you're easily dispensed with. And I think that's what you're seeing happen to Musk here.